In the 1980s, when pop music was dominated by towering figures like Michael Jackson and Madonna, one man emerged who refused to fit into any mold. Prince Rogers Nelson, better known simply as Prince, became a symbol of artistic genius, boundary-pushing creativity, and cultural revolution. But his story was not only about music. It was about freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of identity, and most of all, freedom from the constraints of the music industry. Prince's battle against record labels in the 1990s made him one of the most outspoken artists in modern history. His protest was so radical that he even changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, forcing the industry to confront questions of ownership, control, and exploitation. This is the story of Prince. The rise of the purple legend, his fight against corporate power, and the lasting lessons he left for future generations. Rise of a Purple Star, 1958 to 1984. Prince Rogers Nelson was born on June 7, 1958, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His parents, John L. Nelson and Mattie Della Shaw, were both musicians, and Prince grew up immersed in music. A child prodigy, he learned to play multiple instruments and was composing music before most children his age could read sheet music. By the late 1970s, Prince had signed with Warner Brothers Records. Unlike many young artists, he insisted on complete creative control over his work, producing, arranging, and performing much of his music himself. His early albums, such as Dirty Mind, 1980, and Controversy, 1981, shocked some audiences with their provocative themes, but established him as a fearless innovator unafraid of blending funk, rock, pop, and sexuality into something entirely new. In 1982, Prince released 1999, a double album that produced global hits like Little Red Corvette and the apocalyptic anthem 1999. His true breakthrough, however, came in 1984 with the release of Purple Rain, both an album and a semi-autobiographical film. Purple Rain was more than music, it was a cultural phenomenon. The album sold over 25 million copies worldwide, the film won an Academy Award for Best Original Song Score, and the title track became an anthem that defined a generation. Prince was no longer just a star. He was a cultural icon, the purple one, who blurred the lines between race, gender, and genre. Innovation and Independence, 1985 to 1991. Following Purple Rain, Prince entered one of the most prolific phases of his career. He released Around the World in a Day, 1985, Parade, 1986, and Sign o' the Times, 1987, each project further pushing the boundaries of pop music. His performances were electrifying, his fashion flamboyant, and his artistry relentless. In 1987, Sign o' the Times solidified his reputation as one of the greatest musicians of his generation. The album's title track, a stark commentary on social issues like drug addiction, AIDS, and violence, revealed Prince's ability to combine pop culture with deep social and political awareness. By the end of the 1980s, Prince had created Paisley Park, his own recording complex in Chanhassen, Minnesota. The studio was not just a workplace but a kingdom, where Prince ruled as both artist and producer. It allowed him to record freely, experiment with sound, and mentor protégés under his creative umbrella. Yet even at the height of his success, tensions with his record label, Warner Brothers, were growing. The label wanted predictable hits. Prince wanted freedom to release music at his own pace. His vault of unreleased tracks, rumored to contain thousands of songs, stood as a testament both to his productivity and his frustration. The fight against the industry, 1992 to 2000. In 1992, Prince signed a $100 million contract with Warner Brothers, at the time one of the most lucrative deals in music history. Beneath the headline figures, however, the deal imposed strict controls on his output. Warner Brothers wanted him to slow down, fearing that releasing too much music would flood the market. For Prince, this was unacceptable. By 1993, his frustration exploded into public protest. He changed his name to an unpronounceable glyph, a combination of male and female symbols. Because the symbol could not be spoken, media outlets referred to him as the artist formerly known as Prince. To many, it appeared as a publicity stunt, but for Prince, it was an act of rebellion against a system that, in his view, owned his name, his master recordings, and his creative freedom. During performances and interviews, Prince began writing the word "slave" on his face. A powerful, shocking statement about his relationship with Warner Brothers. He argued that record contracts trapped artists in unfair conditions, enriching corporations, while limiting artistic control. Despite the controversy, Prince kept releasing music at a furious pace. He released albums like The Gold Experience, 1995, featuring the hit The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, and Emancipation, 1996, a 3-disc set celebrating his eventual freedom from Warner Brothers. His battle highlighted a difficult truth. Even superstars could be trapped in contracts that prioritized corporate profit over artistic expression. By 2000, after years of struggle, Prince reclaimed his name. His contract with Warner Brothers had ended, and he was once again Prince. He emerged not only as a free artist, but as a symbol of resistance in the music industry. Reinvention and Legacy, 2001 to 2016. Freed from corporate control, Prince entered the 21st century with renewed energy. He embraced the internet as a way to bypass traditional record labels, selling music directly to fans through his website and experimenting with subscription-based models. Years before streaming became mainstream, Prince was already envisioning a future where artists could control their work and reach audiences without middlemen. His live performances remained legendary. At the 2007 Super Bowl halftime show, he delivered what many consider the greatest halftime performance of all time, closing with "Purple Rain" as real rain fell from the sky. It was a moment of pure spectacle and symbolism, reminding the world of his unmatched stage presence. Yet Prince never stopped challenging the system. He removed his music from major streaming platforms like Spotify, arguing that they undervalued artists. He fought tirelessly for ownership rights, insisting that musicians should control their masters and the profits from their work. On April 21, 2016, Prince died unexpectedly at his Paisley Park estate at the age of 57 from an accidental overdose of fentanyl. His death shocked the world. Tributes poured in from global leaders and fans alike. Landmarks lit up in purple, and cities played his songs in public squares. The world mourned not only the loss of a genius, but also the passing of an artist who had dared to fight for freedom. Lessons from the Purple legend. Prince's story is more than the rise and fall of a music icon. It is a lesson about power, creativity, and the price of independence. He sold over 150 million records worldwide and won 7 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, and a Golden Globe. Yet perhaps his most enduring legacy is not the hits he created, but the fight he waged. He exposed the imbalance between artists and corporations, inspiring future musicians to demand control over their work. His rebellion anticipated the digital revolution, in which artists today can self-publish, distribute online, and retain ownership of their creations. Prince proved that art is not just about entertainment, it is about freedom. His Purple Rain challenged an industry and changed it forever. Who do you think truly owns art? The creator or the corporation? In the age of streaming and digital music, have we solved the problem Prince was fighting against, or has it merely changed form? Prince was and remains the Purple legend. His music endures, his message echoes, and his fight continues in every artist who dares to demand freedom. Watch more interesting stories. Subscribe to our channel.